This is the elaboration likelihood model by Mason Dahl. A quick definition is that it discusses the ways in which people are persuaded to change their attitudes about something and in turn their behavior. Central and peripheral routes are paths that are taken when receiving a message. Many factors go into persuasive communication, such as credibility of speaker, mood of audience, high or low cognitive need, and how the information is presented. My own definition is that it also discusses again how people change their attitudes about something and in turn their behavior. Central and peripheral routes are the paths used when receiving a message. The central route causes a person to criticize the message they have received and think for themselves about whether or not they choose to be persuaded by the message. The peripheral route does not cause the message receiver to think, but rather causes them to accept or reject the message based off of factors irrelevant to the direct message. Some people feel that in order to make proper decisions about changing their attitudes and behaviors towards something, that they need a longer and deeper thought process, and others do not. Of course, when attempting to persuade people into an alternate way of thinking than they are used to, there are strong and weak arguments. Proven facts and statistics are cause for a stronger argument, and arguments that may potentially offend their audience will prove to be weak. Many factors go into persuasive communication, such as credibility of the speaker, mood of audience, high or low cognitive need, and how the information is presented. Of course, the elaboration likelihood model has critiques, but it is generally an admired theory for its ability to make sense of all the varying factors that go into persuading people. The original theorist of the elaboration likelihood model is Richard Petty. Petty received his PhD in social psychology from Ohio University. Much of his work focuses on attitude and behavioral change as well as the varying factors that cause the change. In 2009, he served as the president of Society for Personality and Social Psychology. This is a representation of the elaboration likelihood model. Here you can see the central and the peripheral routes and what goes into it to get the message across and make it effective. This theory is used all the time in advertising. When a company or an organization wants the audience to go out and do or buy something, the elaboration likelihood model can be determined whether the message has done its job or not. If a speaker is calling its audience to stop texting while driving, but they are talking to a crowd of teenagers, the message has to have strong facts as well as credibility. People vary in their need for cognitive levels. Some are high and others are low, but a message is only successful when it can change the attitudes of the audience and in turn their behaviors by following one of the routes of thinking. People do not realize that the elaboration likelihood model is used in political campaigns. Each candidate is trying to persuade the audience to vote for them, but they must tell them why. The central and peripheral routes of thinking are involved because for those who don't find politics particularly interesting, there needs to be basic, easy to understand reasons for voting for them. Those who are more of the central route thinkers need deeper and credible reasons to vote for a specific candidate. Those running for office understand this, and even though they might not know about the theory, it is common knowledge that everyone has a different way of thinking, and they have to reach all of those in order to get their votes.